Truly, truly Kenya, yeah.
Hi, welcome back to the Truly Kenya podcast. If you are watching us on YouTube, please like or subscribe. If you are listening on your favorite podcast platform, which I know we're on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcast, iHeart. I think there are some other ones too, but those are the ones that stand out to me. Please like and subscribe to those also if you prefer audio over video. And on YouTube, like and subscribe, share. I really appreciate it. I think, our little show has grown from 10 viewers to 12 viewers. So we are slowly growing, okay? We're still a tight-knit group though. So anyways, welcome back. I appreciate you being here. So I want to start with a big thank you to you guys. You guys are like little producers. You meaning me and you. Our guys are like little producers. So someone told me to take my green picture that I had posted, I think it was last week. At some point, I have a green sweatshirt on. Someone said, make that your profile picture. So I did do that in Instagram. Someone else said, you need to add the links to the show. So in my post, I started adding links to the show on Facebook, and I added links to it in Instagram also. Someone told me a little set director said, I would like for you to get some flowers to set here on this table. So I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to get some flowers. They'll probably be fake, so Brian could just throw them right under that table and then pull them out when I get back. But we're going to do that. And, okay, it was another one too. The post, I don't remember, but whatever you guys, someone told me I should take down some of the posts about my ex because advertisers, it may turn advertisers off. So while I think we have a minute before we get advertisers, I didn't delete them. I archived them. So I wasn't quite ready to get rid of them, but I did archive them. So I did that, but all of those things came from your suggestions. So I really, really, really do appreciate you. And also, this is someone DM me and say, hey, were you at so-and-so? You were behind me in line. And I'm like, yeah, why you didn't say hi? I am super friendly. I was shocked anyone even recognize, and you think you got the mask on and all that kind of stuff that nobody will recognize you. So, but you can always speak to me. I'm very friendly. I am very, very nice. I'm approachable. So, yeah, if you see me out, say hi. I'll say hi back. I promise. I guess, and speaking of how nice I think that I am, I guess I was a little harsh. On the woman that asked me about the boyfriend that had the 2 kids that never seems to want her to be or spend time with the kids. So I want to say I probably was a little harsh. I think when it comes to kids, though, I may be a little more passionate, not harsh. But if the delivery was wrong or hurt your feelings or made you feel a certain kind of way, I am sorry. That wasn't my intent. But I do think that I feel like we are family, and I probably do have some very strong opinions, and I'm not always right. Like, I don't know everything, although I do know a lot of shit, but I don't know everything. And if you ask me a question, everything I'm saying or my opinions are coming from a place of love, like never a place of judgment or me trying to belittle you or make you feel a certain way. I think the kids may have made me a little more passionate, but it all comes from love. It's almost like me reading you from love. Read from love. I may call that reading with love. Oh, read with love. Oh my God, look how we working together. Spread with love. That's what it should be called. So if I made you feel any kind of way, I am really sorry, but I hope you were able to get what I was saying, because I didn't change my mind about my message, but I maybe could have worked on my delivery. So, but yeah, so I have to go back because sometimes I'm like going, something I said in a previous podcast, I want to clarify because maybe I had a conversation about it with someone. And this is a closure. I did have a back and forth, a friendly back and forth conversation about my thoughts about closure and how I think closure is overrated. So she had some really good points of why closure is important, and how it was really important to her, and a relationship she was in, and it ended. And although I do think she had great points, my position has not changed. I do think closure still is overrated. I think when people talk about closure and how they need closure, they most times say that it has nothing to do with the other person that they want to have this conversation with. It's just really something for themselves. And I find it always has something to do with the other person, and it's not just for yourself. So I would just say, if you are a closure person, what is it about? Like, why? Like, why is the closure important to you? Like, are we trying to elicit some response from the person that we feel we need to have this conversation with? Like what is it? Do we want them to feel guilty? Do we want them to apologize? Do we want them to take us back? Do you want them to say you were right? Like, what is it? So if it's important to you, I would first figure out why. Like, why is this conversation so important to me? And then after that, if you still want to move forward, what happens after? Like, if you don't get what you were looking for, if this person says to you, I was right, I don't want you back, I don't feel guilty, whatever it is, if you don't get what you were looking for out of the conversation that you said you were having just for yourself. Remember, the conversation had nothing to do with the person you're trying to talk to. This was just for you. How do you feel? Like, are you okay? Did it make you more sad? Are you frustrated? Do you still feel stuck in wherever you were before the conversation? So I would just make sure that all of that you figure out. So I think that's how I get to my conclusion that these closure conversations really are not that important, because I don't think it's about us. I think we're looking for something to happen or to be said. So with that, if you're a person that want to close your conversation, have at it. Just make sure you are clear about why you want it. And if you don't get what you want, where is that going to leave you? Like, leave you feeling. So that's my deal on closure. But she and I had a really good back and forth. So I appreciate that. Trying to think what else that I have. I have a correction. I said, I'm not sure exactly what I said, but in an answer to a question, I don't know if it was a rant, somewhere I said that Gary, my ex, and I never went out, or something to that effect. Okay, so that's not true. We went out a lot. We went to dinner a lot. We had a lot of date nights, and we traveled a lot. What I guess I wasn't clear on, what I was trying to say, or what I meant to say and did a poor piss job at it, was that when we are not home, I have somebody at the house. I've always had someone at my house with my kids. Like, they just weren't left alone. So that's what I should have said, but I guess I didn't do that right. So that's right. We went out. We traveled a lot. So that part wasn't an issue. If your marriage could just be based on travel and going out, I guess we'd still be together, right? So, but yeah, so if I said that, I was wrong, and I just corrected myself. Okay, so nobody should have problems. Um, so I try to have to keep notes. Okay, look at me. Look, I'm already on 5. Freddie handled 5 things I wanted to take care of. Okay. So let me tell you. So with the show, interviews are starting. So are going to start to be dropped. You may have one this week. So how the show is going to work is Tuesday will be my interviews. I'll drop them separately. I don't want them attached to the stupid shit I do on Thursdays. And then Thursdays will be just us having fun, our little kiki, this little podcast. You know what? Let me tell you something about the word little. So I just said this little podcast. When people are in conversation with you, and so if someone said to me, "Oh, I looked at your little podcast," it's really demeaning. It really is not a nice thing to say. Just when you are out, like, "Oh, I love your little store," even if the store is like the size of your bathroom if you live in an apartment, it is not nice, is not a compliment, and people usually use the word to sort of put you in a box or a place. So when you're out talking to people, you could just say, "Oh, I love your store." Like I could have just said on this podcast, but sometimes the word little is kind of funny to me, but I'm trying to only use it when it comes to me. So, but yeah, so now you know. Okay. Little podcast. So be careful when you're out using the word little to describe other people's stuff. Okay. What else? I was out having dinner in a group, and this very pretty lady, I didn't even know people still smoke cigarettes. She, like, really pretty. She whipped out her cigarette to go walk someplace else to smoke. And watching her do that made me feel like I do not want to curse that much anymore. So you have to start someplace. Like, I can't say all together because that's unreasonable. Sometimes you need it for like a emphasis. But I don't want to curse anymore, like watching her pull out that cigarette. So in public, I don't have such a potty mouth. I don't think. I really don't think. I don't think in public I curse. But on this podcast, there's a lot of cursing. So and maybe in my private conversations too, just because sometimes I think curse words are kind of funny. But I'm going to scale it back a little bit. I'm going to try to scale it back on this podcast, definitely. We'll see how that works. It's kind of like telling a drinker, like, we're just not going to drink anymore. We're just not doing it. So I have to see how that works. But so that is what I have sort of been up to. I was flying a lot lately. And I think that there's some things about flying that I really notice and I want to share with you. First of all, I think women need to do better in the public bathrooms. Okay. So you guys sometimes are just kind of gross. I mean, it's important to be washing our hands I think after you flush the toilet, I think it's important to turn around and make sure whatever you left is gone. I think if stuff falls on the floor, pick it up and throw it away. It just grosses me out, honestly. I hate public bathrooms, period. But that is something that I noticed. And I also noticed that I was having a quick conversation with one of the flight attendants, and do you know they don't know how to swim? So when they're talking about if we fly over or we have a water landing and all this kind of stuff, I just want you to know you're on your own. I mean, I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm just saying, do not look for the flight attendant. Is that what they're called? I don't know what they're called, but I think they're called flight attendants. Just don't look for them to save you because she said a lot of them don't even know how to swim, and it's not even a prerequisite that they know how to swim. So don't do that. I was on a flight and they said that somebody had a peanut allergy. So there was no peanuts, although I would like the warm nuts to come back. If I miss anything on a flight, it is the warm nuts. But they couldn't serve something because of somebody had a peanut allergy. But if the peanut allergy, because they know who has it, because they got the information, but if the peanut allergy is in the back of the plane, and if you are in first class, I think you should still be able to have peanuts. Is that selfish? I'm just saying, like, these planes are pretty big. I mean, and I think sometimes people are over exaggerating some of these allergies. But yeah, I do miss the peanuts. I guess that is kind of selfish. The window seat. I'm a window seat person. I'm always sitting next to the window seat. So that means I control the shade. Okay. You cannot lean over me because the dude says we're flying over the Grand Canyon and you want a picture and just lift the shade. You can't do that. That's rude. You should not be reaching over people, especially with COVID. It makes everybody very nervous. Do not reach over. And it also means that when I'm watching my movie, the shade is down. And if you're reading a book, I'm really sorry. Use the light. But during the day, if I'm watching a movie, the shade is down. And don't keep giving me looks like it's rude that I have the shade down because I'm trying to watch this little movie on this screen. So that's what else I noticed this week when I was flying. What else? I don't know. I think those are my things that I noticed. Bin space is important. I like to have my bag above, not my purse. My purse is under the chair, but I get on, not early, but when they say first class, I get on. And I like my bag like near me. And I feel like I have to get on at that point because people don't be wiping down these chairs. So when I get on, I'm wiping down my stuff and I'm wiping down your stuff. Okay. And I do that as a courtesy for you as my seat mate, and to protect my own self. I hate sitting next to women because I really think if something happens, a woman is not going to look over and like stick her hand out. Here, let me help you. I do think men would be more likely, although I think that they're very selfish and that they try to take up all space. Whatever space you got, if it's the arm, if it's the stuff that goes under. But beside that, I do think like if something happened, they would at least reach out a hand like, hurry up, come on and pull me to safety is what I am hoping. So whenever somebody is coming to sit next to me, especially a guy, I try to make eye contact and I say, hi, how are you? You know what I mean? So he's had some interaction with me, and then usually that will lead to a short conversation. And, and you get tired of talking, you just put your earphones in or on, conversation is over. That's a nice unspoken signal that I'm done talking to you. Okay. So those are my flying things. Little pointers I would like to share. Those are my experiences. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I really think that is done. I didn't really have a lot. Oh, I have a PSA. Okay. So my PSA this week is they have this thing that they have come out with. Okay, let me tell you what made me think about this PSA. There's a story about Drake, a girl he slept with. I guess he threw away the condom, but he put hot sauce in the condom and she said it burned her. It was very uncomfortable. She went into the bathroom. I guess she tried to get the sperm out of the, the condom. You can tell I'm not having sex. Like, what is it called? What's that thing called? Okay. So she tried to get the sperm out of his condom and it had hot sauce and it burned her up. Like, why she wouldn't see the shit was red and why you would say, I think this is healthy sperm after seeing all that red is crazy to me. But the story is we are so focused on Drake using hot sauce to deter these girls from trying to put his semen in them instead of why are we not focused on her trying to get somebody's semen after the fact to put into her? Like, I think we're concentrating on the wrong thing, but I thought, okay, so that story I thought was crazy that you would be interested in red semen. Like, I've never seen that before. And that we are not focused on her trying to get his semen to impregnate herself. So, okay, that made me start to think. And then I saw an article about a testicle bath. Okay, so it looks like it's like this little contraption, maybe about as big as my hand, and it looks kind of like a little bathtub, like a little bathtub. Okay, but it would fit your testicles. Like if you have two testicles, even if you only have one testicle, you could still submerge it in there. So what it does is you and the doctor, I guess you get it from the doctor, you decide what the temperature needs to be. So you put water in this thing, and whatever the doctor tells you your temperature is, you put your testicles in it before you have sex. It's warmed up, it's hot water, and then it burns the sperm. Okay? I'm not a real reporter, so I don't have any real answers to probably your questions. Well, how long does it last? I don't know. I couldn't find that in the article. Okay? But you do that and it will burn off the sperm. So this thing does exist, and you guys should try it, I guess. I guess like you have that, what is it called? What is it when two configure notification? I don't know, when they like if you try to sign on to something and then it say we're also sending a code to your phone or whatever. Two-step verification. Thank you, Alex. White people have all the answers. I'm going to let you know all the time about everything, okay? So, two-step verification. So, you can use the hot sauce, but you can also use your new little testicle bath and probably be well protected. All right, so that is the PSA for the day. And I had one for women, and I don't remember it. This show is so stupid. A stupid show with a stupid host, but hey, okay, here we go. So that was my PSA for today. So I do have questions though, but that's somebody else's job, and she just sent them. I'm sure she sent them because she told me she was going to send them. And so far, she has always sent them. All right. So let's just move to our questions. Let's see. Okay. Hi, Kenya. You were wrong. Busy men don't have time to call, text, or see someone all the time. Okay. I don't believe that. And I don't know about all the time. I may agree with that, but I do not believe anyone is too busy to call or text you. And I don't, are they eating? Are they driving? I mean, no. So you're suggesting at no point in the day does he have time to reach out to you. I just don't believe that. And if you're that way, your dude is lucky, because I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I will say, if somebody is not making forth some effort to see you or to talk to you, I just don't think it's interest. I don't care how much money they got or they don't got. I just don't think it's any interest. The best thing about having your kids out of the house. Okay, so I do have one out the house. I do have one still at the house. But so I would say the best thing about having kids that are 18 and over, how about that? We'll do it that way, is that I don't have to find babysitters. So my flexibility to be super spontaneous is one of the best things about my life. They could be someone could be like, hey, let's go to LA. Let's go have tickets to a concert in Vegas. Let's go to Vegas. Let's go to the beach or whatever. Okay, as long as, it works in terms of what I have going on, I could just be like, all right, let's go. Let's roll. I love it. I love it. So that's probably the best thing, is being able to do whatever I want, when I want, at a drop of a dime. So I am perfect for a last minute trip. Okay. Kenya, I hope you find a guy that will say, I love you in the nicest way. Well, okay. Thank you. That's nice. Thank you. I want to start there. But it's not about getting somebody to say, I love you. Okay, that's not my issue. But what are they I just think we have to listen to how people are saying that they love us. So is it like you made them dinner? You did their laundry. Oh, I love you so much. Um, you brought over some donuts. I mean, how are they saying it? I think that is what we need to be listening for. Sometimes it's not like, oh, I'm in love with you. It's more like, I love you for doing these things. So yeah, but thank you. And did you know before you say something negative or you don't agree or whatever with somebody or you want to make a complaint or something, you should start off with 3 positives. So, like, if I were at dinner with somebody, if I went to someone's house for dinner and I thought the food, because I'm a foodie, I thought the food was not seasoned properly. Okay. So before I started in about, like, if she said, oh, how do you like the salad? I don't know. Salad. Maybe I thought the salad didn't have a nice enough dressing. I would first thought as like, well, first of all, I want to say your house is beautiful. I love being here. And if it's not beautiful, then you say your house is so comfortable. I can be here forever. You could say the table is beautiful. The fact that you made lunch for us is super sweet. Whatever, just something positive. You look beautiful, whatever. Your dress is so pretty, blah, 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 blah. And then you get to the salad is terrific. I just like a lot of dressing. So maybe if I had, a little bit more dressing, but the salad is delicious. Okay. If you have to say anything at all, if they ask you a pointed question like that now, or you could just say the salad is delicious and perfect the way you made it, and then just be sipping on your water because you're so damn thirsty. Because it's so dry. This water is actually pretty good. Just give me a second. Okay. Okay. It must be filtered. But anyway, so yeah. So if you feel like you have to say anything but it's delicious, then you should start off with some positives. And that's about everything. Like if you are about to go on somebody, you should probably start with, is there something nice you can say first? Hi, Kenya. Hi, Kenya. That's so cute to me. Hi, Kenya. I have been with my boyfriend for 3 years and I can't help going through his phone. Do you think going through someone's phone is wrong? All right. Of course I've done this, but I haven't probably done this in like, I don't know, 7 years, gone through a phone. And what are you going to do it for? To hurt? I mean, let me see. If you, like, I know people say, if you got to go through somebody's phone, you already got a problem, which I do think is true. But you going through his phone for what? You want to get your feelings hurt? Like, what are you going through the phone for? Like, seriously. Like, let me tell you something. Everything you need to know is going to come to the surface. I don't think you have to go through someone's phone. But what you can do, just ask to use his phone. Act like you can't find your phone. Say like, hey, can I call Susie, whoever? And if he's like, oh yeah, what's her number? Making sure you stay on the screen you need to stay on. And he's like dialing a number, or when you ask to use it, he's like, what? Oh, you can't find your phone? Oh, you want me to help you look? Okay, if you're getting all that kind of stuff, and then he needs to put the number in, you already know. You already know what it is right there. And then once you take the phone, so he didn't dial Susie's number for you. You on the phone, maybe you walk into a room the dude never goes into. Okay? Walk into your laundry room. Don't nobody want to be in a laundry room. Ain't nothing happening in the laundry room. If he follows you into the laundry room and you turn around and you're like, whoa. All right? He's making sure you're not going through stuff. I mean, you're right. There it is. You don't even got to go through the phone. Just ask to use the phone. Everything you need to know, you're going to know right then. Okay? It's kind of funny though. God, you just took me back. Yes. All right. So everybody's gone through the phone, I think. Have you ever been with a woman? Okay. I will answer this, but do not come at me do I want to answer this? Okay. I'm going to answer since there's just 14 of us. Okay. I have never been with a woman. I do not think I'm sexually attracted to women. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just don't get it. Do you know what I mean? Like I get the whole mental and emotional part. Like if I dated me, I would consider myself so fucking lucky. But if I just really don't get the emotional, I get the emotional connection. I don't get the physical part of it. Like I understand, okay, you come once, whatever, orally. I just don't get how you come again without the penetration. So I think that I don't get it. So that I don't get it. Now, I know that it's probably very uh I don't know. That's just my answer. So I gave you a really honest answer. So don't come at me. I just don't understand it sexually. Okay. So yeah. Um when having sex, music or TV? Music would be my preference, but it's probably TV that is on because it probably is the TV, but music would be my preference. Um And if not you, but if I play Emergency by Tank, we're going to do it. Okay? And it doesn't matter if you're playing it, I have to play it because that is my, like, we're going to do a song. But, and if you don't want to do it, you can say no and your words matter. I will listen. I will convince you to say yes. But words do matter. I will convince you to say yes, and then I will pull out some consensual sexual paperwork for you to sign so you will not be in a police station filing paperwork on me because I made you have sex with me and you didn't want to. But yeah, so music. What was the last song you played in the car? Jagged Edge Baby. I have really been into Jagged Edge a lot lately. And Muni Long. I like her too a lot. And if you look at her catalog, I mean, she has written a lot of songs, but I really am into her too right now. Who else am I into? Jagged Edge. Her. God, I have the best playlist right now. I can't think, but some other people too. But Jagged Edge is the last person I was listening to. Let's see. Hi Kenya. I saw a guy at a mutual friend's wedding that ghosted me after sex years ago. I went up I went up and said hello and he acted like he didn't know me. I wanted to cause a scene so bad. What would you do? First of all, I would never go up to anybody I had sex with or even I dated or I talked to. I think you don't know people's situations. And I think you don't know if people remember you or do they remember you fondly. So I would never go up to a guy, especially a guy I had sex with. And, in my case, I probably go up to one of the five people I had, or, well, I had seven, but the five in question. I would probably go up to one of the ones that was trash that I'm trying not to even count. Okay. So yeah, I wouldn't go up to anybody. If they came up to me to say hello, that would be all right, but I would never go up to anybody like that. This is Why would you do that? Don't do that again. Just wave or let them come up to you. And then what were you mad about? Because he acted like he didn't know you? Okay. We shouldn't have went up to him. And that's a reading with love. um, did your ex ever hit you? Okay. So this isn't, remember I said I'm not talking about my ex in 2022, but I'm going to answer this because if I don't answer this, then it becomes a thing. So no, never, ever, ever has he put his hands on me or we put our hands on each other. never, ever, ever has he called me out of my name or I've called him out of his name. We just did not roll like that. Like, so we were not fighting physically and cussing each other out. What are my feelings about phone sex? You guys are so weird. I don't have a problem with phone sex. But let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell on myself, but okay. So phone sex, I'm usually like doing something else. Not even like um so I don't care whatever I tell you I have on, I probably have on sweats. I'm just trying to paint a visual for you. Uh I probably taking out the trash, wiping down the counters, whatever. But I can paint a picture. So phone sex is fine. Is when people want to start FaceTiming and then you got to really, whatever the fantasy is that you are describing, then you got to actually like live it. So be really a part of it. Like you can't tell somebody, oh yeah, I'm this, I'm that, and you got on sweats. So on FaceTime, you got to be this or that, right? So, but I would prefer phone sex because first of all, I don't really trust people about the whole FaceTiming thing because I think people take snapshots. So I don't know. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. Have you ever been fired? Yes, I've been fired. Okay. Um, I was in community services for the Los Angeles Clippers, and I was doing a very good job. Okay. My job was like just to respond to the community, take the players where they needed to go for appearances, like set up the auction. I mean, it was a really simple job, right? And I had a coworker, and when I first started, she was really very nice to me, like super helpful. Um, my boss was super duper nice. Um, and then I think, well, I do know what happened because I found out afterward that the girlfriends and the wives were complaining about me. And I didn't have sex or anything with any of these dudes, right? So, but let me tell you what was the final straw. I didn't know they would complain about me before. And I wasn't one they needed to be worried about. But anyways, so we were at Arrowhead Pond and I saw somebody I knew and the team was shooting around. They were in the middle of shoot around. So I was walking past and he said, "Hey." And I was like, "Hey." So he said, "Hey, Kenya." And I said, "Hey, so and so." And so we stopped. And whenever you see somebody you go to hug them like, "Hey, how you doing?" I mean, when I say these hugs are like, I don't even know if they're a second, like super quick little, "Hey, how you doing?" And so we talked maybe 5 seconds, whatever. And then I finished doing my job or whatever. And then Matt calls me in on Monday. And he said, "I like you." Matt is nice though. So I do think he was telling the truth. "I like you. I think you're doing a good job. But some of the wives really have a problem with you, right?" And I'm like, when he first said, I was like, "Me? Do you know what I mean?" First of all, athletes were not my thing at all. So I was like, "Me?" I was just so shocked. And he was like, "Yeah, so I'm not going to be able to keep you." And I was like, "Okay, that's fine." So that was over, but it led to other things. So like things happen and I didn't understand like why would they choose me? Like why me of all people? But that was okay. Um, and then I ended up getting a better job. So it worked out to be fine. But that is the one time I was fired. And I didn't even have sex with any of those dudes. So it was all right. It led to other things. And now I'm here. And then I found out my coworker really didn't like me. Like, she really, you know what I think? I think she planted the seed to the wives and the girlfriends about something about me. And then they were like, "Oh, yeah, let me watch her," because I was, whatever. It's okay. I hope she has the day she deserves. I hope she has the day she deserves. How about that? But yeah, okay. So yes, I have been fired. Um, Thoughts on Kevin Samuels? Okay, Kevin Samuels. I know the name, but I don't know enough about. I know the name, but I don't even know why I know the name. Um, is he an athlete? Okay, I don't know. I have to. Kevin Samuels. All right, I need to do some research and then I'll get back with you. So we're just going to put a rain check on Mr. Samuels so I can find out who he is. Um, okay. Uh, Hi, Kenya. What was your most awkward sexual encounter? Um, Awkward? I don't know if I've had awkward. I don't know if I've had awkward. But sometimes I will start laughing. But I haven't had awkward. I do have awkward. Okay, but it didn't lead to sex. So, uh, this guy. It was when I was in Los Angeles, and he was a really big guy, like 6'8". He was just a big dude. But when I went over to his house for like the first time, it was the first and last. The first thing he did was when he opened up the door was he said, "Hi. Oh, I like it better when your hair is down." My hair was in a ponytail with a baseball cap. And he said, "I like it better when your hair is down." So I was like, "Okay," because nobody knew I was at this dude's house. I mean, because I just kind of went over. We were like talking. It's like, "Come on, let's whatever." So I was over at his house. Nobody knew I was there, and I didn't know. Like, okay, if you're gonna start, that goes to show how controlling you are. So I didn't know if he was going to chop me up in little pieces and put me in a freezer or whatever. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll remember that, right? And I'm such a mental note person, like, oh, okay. And then we're sitting down. His friends come over. We all start to play dominoes. Um, Now, I did not win, but I did not lose. I want to say I came in second, but maybe it was third, but I think I came in second. Um, so that was probably the funnest part of the whole day. So anyway, so then they leave, and we are sitting in the living room and looking at movies or whatever. And then he said, "Oh, let's go into the bedroom." So I go into the bedroom, and so we start kissing and stuff. And for some reason, I mean, he just jumps up and starts like taking off his clothes. Okay, and his penis was uncircumcised, and I had never seen an uncircumcised penis before. So it really became more of a science thing for me. It was, you know, I don't know. I just had never seen one, right? And so at this point, it wasn't even erect, it was just like there. So, I mean, you talking about lifting it and moving it around. I just had never seen anything like that, right? And then when it was hard, it just, I don't know, I just couldn't get past it. So it didn't lead to anything at all. And besides, I think in my mind, I was like, this controlling fucker. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just so weird. And then I did tell him, I think if you're just going to jump up and start taking off your clothes, you should make sure, like, the lights are off. Like, what if somebody is not ready? And I clearly was not ready. And so, yeah. So that was the first time I had ever seen an uncircumcised penis. And I guess that was awkward. But at that moment, I don't know if I ever really cared because I knew I was never going back to that house. So, or I was not going to be in contact with him again. So that was probably the most awkward. And I'm not saying there's something wrong with uncircumcised penis if that is what you have or that is what you like or you come from the South. It seems like a lot of Southern guys do not have circumcised penises. But that was the first and only uncircumcised penis I had ever seen. So I guess that was kind of awkward. And you know what? I don't even remember that dude's name. I wouldn't even know him if I saw him on the street. So hopefully he wouldn't know me either. But yeah, okay. So that was that. That was my whatever. Okay. Um hmm. Let's see. Okay, I don't want to answer that one. Better. Okay. Haven't we already Haven't you guys already asked me about porn? I don't have a problem with porn. I told you, I don't have a problem with porn. But you guys want to know what I watch? I, I think I've already said this too. I don't like stupid, corny porn. I don't like scripts and all that. It would be amateur and or like a masseuse sort of porn situation. But I don't know. But I do think porn is it's helpful. I really do, especially for me because there's sometimes there are things that you want to know about and you don't want to ask people. So if you are like walking around, you see like a tiny person with a really normal size or a big person, you curious of what that is or what that looks like. Porn, you just can go to X videos and do it and figure it out. Really old people, curious about that. I've Googled people that may be missing a limb. What is that? Like, how does that work? Um, I've Googled all kinds of stuff. I don't know. Like, well, I'm not Googled, but I've looked at X videos for like, I don't know. Some terms I may not understand. Like, I didn't know what a spinner was. I do now because I went and I looked. I get it. I'm trying to think what else have I looked up. If it was a smaller, like a little person, like I was wondering, like, is their anatomy correct or is it like smaller because they're smaller? So like just research things so I don't have to ask and I don't have to wonder. Oh, intersex. You read about it or you hear about it. So I was curious about that. Um, with that, whatever. So, like things like that. But I don't have a problem with porn. Am I always watching porn? No. But if somebody said, do you want to watch porn? Would I be offended? I don't know. It just depends on the context. Like, are we already intimate? You know what I mean? Or is this dude watching porn all day? That would kind of be a turnoff. But I don't know. It's 2022. Like, I don't know. Okay. That's the porn question. I don't have a problem with porn. And I don't like corny porn. But really, I am very grateful to you guys. You guys are showing a lot of love when it comes to the podcast, in terms of sharing it, recommending it, and watching and liking it. So I really, really am grateful. Just that you guys have decided to take this ride with me. And I think we're going to be okay. I really do. And also, I think that the feedback that you give to me, whether it's about the flowers or the pictures or the this or that, I appreciate that also. And I'm just having a lot of fun with you guys. And like I said, I hope that you are getting to know me and that this podcast gives you a few minutes, out of your day or whatever, of just to do nothing and just sit and enjoy and laugh. So, with that, I'm going to say, I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for being so supportive. Please like or subscribe to the podcast, whether it's on YouTube or it's on your favorite podcast platform. Enjoy these interviews I have coming up. They're so good. They're so good. And I'm really, really, really excited. So I'll be interested to hear your feedback about that. All right, y'all. I'll get a little more organized. I'm here. I'm not traveling. And we'll get back to a real podcast next week. So I thank you. Love you. You guys have a good day. Bye.